Hello, welcome to a new video. Oh, I've been trying to record this forever. Mm. It's quite noisy outside. I don't know if you can hear it because there is a construction site nearby actually, and it can get really noisy sometimes. So I was just waiting for the opportunity, and now it's kind of like the best moment I got. I don't know how much you can actually hear of that, but it's there. You know. Um, well, thank you for spending some time with me. That is something that I really appreciate, especially right now in this moment of my life. That I do this as a way to cope with my mental health and to create awareness one way or another. Just this time that you spend with me, just watching me talk at this point, with um, lots of things. I know lots of things can be improved in my videos, and eventually I would really like to put a better quality content out there. So for now, just thank you very much. I really, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you. Today I wanted to talk about splitting um, in BPD, in borderline. That term is kind of used for those very rapid mood swings, and that thing that we see the world in black and white, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, and how it can affect you, or how it looks like for me. Remember that this is always from my point of view, as a person with BPD myself, and it can look different in different people, and it can feel different for different people. Always keep that in mind. Why I wanted to film this today and talk about this today, because today I actually went through an episode, and I was crying all morning. I actually woke up feeling good. I actually woke up kind of hopeful, because right now my situation is kind of harsh. I was thinking to myself, and I was thinking also what I discussed yesterday with my therapist. Okay, you are capable, you are stronger than you think. You can do hard things, you can go through hard stuff, and things can get better if you keep on pushing, if you don't give up. So I had that mindset. Yes, I can do anything, let's conquer the world. um, then suddenly I started to feel really bad and really low about myself. And when you split, you usually have a trigger, and you don't always know what the trigger is. I know some of my triggers. I don't always know what could trigger an episode. um, the feeling, this is a personal trigger for me, is the feeling of unfairness when something unfair happens, and I feel like I cannot do anything about it. Maybe it's because unfair things have happened to me. Yeah, it happens to everyone, I know. But probably this is just something very personal, because I had this notion since I was very young, very little. Like at school, I was actually sadly quite bullied at school. Um, hey, if some of my old classmates see this, um, I was bullied. I was the nerd, and not the popular girl at all. I was just like, like the teacher's pet and this and that. And I was also very shy, very timid. It was very hard for me to make friends. And I could never really tell anyone. My parents, both of them passed away um, uh, when I was a teenager. Um, but I could never tell them what was going on. And not because they wouldn't understand me. They were absolutely beautiful, loving people. I just couldn't, you know? I was always this kind of girl, and up to present day, If you ask me how I am, oh yeah, just remember some reference. Ask her how she's doing. Oh my god. But if you ask me how I am, this is actually true. I find it very hard to say that I'm not okay. So what I usually do is I just disappear from the world until I feel that I can say, well, I'm okay, or I'm just fine, you know? I could never tell that. And even when I was going through severe bullying myself, if I saw that some other kid was suffering, like I couldn't stand it, and I kind of tried to, you know, to defend them somehow. Um, so I know that is one of my triggers. Also, violence in general. Uh, this is hard to say, but situations that imply lack of consent are also a huge trigger for me. And well, many other things that I cannot really pinpoint. Loss, you know, the sense of loss, probably because of the loss of my parents at an early age, and I have big fear of abandonment. It can be real abandonment, or it can be perceived, and that usually also causes me to split. So I don't know really exactly what. I think is just knowing that right now I'm going through something that is kind of unfair, and somehow I just started thinking, and it just caused me to have this very rapid mood swing. I started crying. I went from hey, you can do anything, to hey, you're worthless. um, you know, I can be quite harsh on myself, when I'm going through these episodes. You know, I can feel absolutely helpless, worthless. You know, my self-esteem is very bad. um, so there's that. I cried a lot. I felt like things will never change, things will never get better. So I went ahead and had a shower, made some tea, and one of the ways I usually used to cope with these episodes is through food. As I mentioned before, I have disordered eating patterns, um, and food, too much or too little, is something that I use to cope. Yesterday, talking with my therapist about it, and he said, okay, try to find something else, that instead of self destroying you, I mean, instead of engaging in self destruction, that is eventually what I do in this case in the form of food, find something else that can be productive. And in this case, for me, is making these videos. So I went ahead, had a shower, and you know, started to try to find a moment to record. And here I am. Here is what I'm doing now. Splitting is definitely a defense mechanism. Uh, there was something that made me feel in danger, and that's how I reacted. Uh, and how it feels in the body for me is, again, it's like if I was hit by a truck. Like all my muscles get tense. I cry like the world is ending. I hyperventilate. I cannot breathe. And then when it ends, it's like this huge sense of both relief and, pain, physical pain. And it actually affects my chronic pain. So there's that. When I manage to calm down, you know, to be able to communicate properly, I decided to do this instead of turning to food, as a way to cope. And yeah, talking about food, there is a lot of inflammation going on in my body right now. Um, I have gained weight during all this, and I would like to go again into a low carb diet. The thing is that right now, I'm not staying at home. I had to leave my home, sadly, very fast. And I am just staying with some people who are helping me at the moment. So I cannot always choose what I eat. This is a reality for me right now. And I am very thankful for these people helping me. I'm very, very thankful that I have food on my plate because of them. Um, but I cannot say, hey, I don't eat this, I don't eat potatoes, I don't eat rice because of this or that. Uh, and we also have some level of language barrier. So I know they wouldn't understand. Even sometimes we just use the phone, the translator, And I know they are not fully aware of some of my mental health issues. Like, is that idea, you're depressed, it's all in your head. Oh, yes, it's all in my head. Whereas, yes, that's how depression works. Or you're anxious, but why? You right now have a roof and have food. Yes, but I'm going through a lot, and I can't wait, to regain full independency again. So because of that, at this point, I simply have to eat what is offered to me, and I'm very thankful for that. I don't want to sound ungrateful because it's nothing like that. Um, but yes, whenever I have the chance to have more agency over what I eat, I will try to go on a low carb diet. Um, it's something that usually helps with my inflammation. Uh, so there's that. It's just sharing a bit of my experience of how it feels for me to have an episode to split, um, a little bit of a life update. I know that things will get better. I know that I'm capable. I know that I need to keep pushing. And yes, life is not always fair. I know that. So if you're also going through something, just let me send you a hug if that's okay. And again, thank you for watching, and I hope you're safe and seek help if you need it. Okay? Bye. See you in the next video.